Hello and welcome to the latest update of the sugarcane rainfall outlook for the Central District. We'll look into how the Access S model verified for rainfall over the month of May before touching on June rainfall to date. We'll then cover short-term weather watch points and see what the rainfall outlooks have in store over the coming months, before finishing with a quick tour of the Climate Services for Agriculture website. So how did the Bureau's Access S model perform over the month of May? The image on the left, we have the observed rainfall. In the middle, that rainfall converted to percentage of mean. And on the right, the Access S rainfall outlook for May. Broadly, it's done a good job capturing those below average falls through central Queensland, with most locations receiving less than the median rainfall for May. However, the Mackay region is an outlier with above average rainfall for the month, most of which fell in a very localised event on the 11th of May. During June, rainfall has been below average for most areas so far to date, with around 20 to 50% of the June average rainfall received so far, as shown by those red dots on the right. In the short term, no rainfall is expected across the region over the next week, with a high in the Coral Sea extending a weak ridge along the Queensland coastline, keeping conditions stable. Here we have the chance of exceeding 5 millimetres of rainfall over the next fortnight, broken down into week-long periods. You can access these maps on the link above and choose from a number of different rainfall thresholds between 1 millimetre and 700 millimetres. For week 1, from the 25th of June to the 1st of July, it's really only the exposed coastal fringe around Mackay and north to the Conway Ranges, with a 10 to 25% chance of more than 5 millimetres, with elsewhere looking at a less than 10% chance. And into week 2, a slightly increased odds for 5 millimetres with 10 to 25% chance for most parts, increasing to 25 to 50% around Mackay and the Conways and the ranges behind Mackay. Moving on to the month of July, and we're looking at close to neutral odds of exceeding the median rainfall, around 40 to 45% chance east of Proserpine, with slightly lower odds of 35 to 40% for Proserpine, Mackay and the Pioneer Valley. The model skill during July is moderate, typically correct 55 to 65% of the time, increasing to an accuracy of 65 to 75% around the Mackay coastline. This means this coming July is looking drier than the median, as we have lower odds of seeing rainfall close to the historical median for the month. And we can see that in comparing from the slightly lower values in the 50% chance of at least chart on the left, with the historical median map on the right. Breaking the rainfall odds down further for July, with the high chance on the left, the 75% chance of receiving, and the lower chance totals on the right, the 25% chance of receiving, to give us an idea for the potential rainfall spread for the month. So, for example, roughly eyeballing Mackay and the Pioneer Valley, we're looking at around 1 to 25 millimetres through there. Into the August outlook, and we can see neutral odds of 45 to 55% near the coast, with slightly lower odds of 40 to 45% of exceeding the median rainfall further inland. The model skill typically gets it correct 55 to 65% of the time across much of the region, increasing to 65 to 75% accuracy north and east of Proserpine. The model is suggesting the upcoming August will be close to or slightly drier than median, as we can see from the lower rainfall values in the 50% chance of at least chart on the left, compared with the historical median values on the right. Breaking the rainfall odds down further for August here, with the high chance on the left, 75% chance of at least, and the lower chance totals on the right, the 25% chance of exceeding, to give us an idea for the potential rainfall spread for the month. So eyeballing for Mackay, Proserpine and the Pioneer Valley, around 1 to 25 millimetre rainfall range is capturing the middle 50% of rainfall, and higher totals are likely around the ranges. Looking into the long-term outlook now, from August to October, and lower odds of exceeding the median rainfall of around 35 to 45% are predicted through the region for that period. The model skill is moderate to high, typically correct 65 to 75% of the time through this forecast period. Both Australian and international climate models are indicating strong odds of both a positive IOD event and an El Niño to be underway during late winter and into spring. Here I'm showing a map of the mean rainfall deciles. For the last 7 times we've seen a positive IOD and an El Niño co-occurring since 1960, when reliable records of the IOD commenced. And when these two combine, it typically leads to drier than normal conditions for much of Australia, and that's also what's been reflected in the rainfall outlook on the previous slide. The Climate Services for Agriculture website is a collaboration between the Bureau and CSIRO. It's a platform being developed to help farmers adapt to climate variability and trends, and has been funded by the Australian Government's Future Drought Fund. You can find it at climateservicesforag.indraweb.io. The link is spelled out above, and this will take you to the home page where you type in your location at the top of the map here, and once you've selected a location, press continue at the bottom right. There is a treasure trove of information to mine on this website, but today we're keeping to the seasonal rainfall outlook, so choosing this third column, the seasonal outlook on the right. This takes you to a great rainfall display. On the left, you can choose between monthly and seasonal outlooks. So we're looking at the July outlook for Mirani here, or you can flick to seasonal and get the 3-month outlook from July to September as well. So it's using the same data available on the Bureau Climate Outlooks, but presented in an alternate format here for your point location, giving the 75% chance, 50% chance and 25% chance of exceeding across the top there, with the skill level shown below and a star rating. On the bottom left, a detailed rainfall breakdown with chance of receiving at least for a number of rainfall thresholds, and on the right, a handy summary of the median rainfall, the rainfall received last July, and the rainfall over the past 3 months as well. It's in a prototype stage. They are hungry for feedback, so if you have suggestions for what you'd like to see, there's a feedback option on the top of the page. That's it for this update. As always, check the latest forecasts and warnings on the Bureau's website or the BOM weather app. And please send any feedback through to agriculture@bom.gov.au. We'd love to hear from you about ways we might improve the service. See you next Outlook. Thanks for listening.